Okay, now let us look into another set of operators that we can use with if statement. These are called as membership test operators. Basically, as the name itself suggests, these membership test operators are used to check the membership of a particular entity in a bigger entity. Okay, so in other words, we are going to check whether an entity is a part of other entity. Okay, so rather than just theoretical explanation, let us just go into IntelliJ IDEA and try to understand what is the concept of these membership test operators. Okay, so let us now quickly create another file for this particular program. Okay, so I will call it as membership test. Okay, you can call it anything you want. Okay, so we are having this file. Let us just close that project pane so that it will be visible. Okay, so let us just try to understand this concept using a simple example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one variable and I'm going to assign the value, a string value to that variable. Suppose if I assign my name to that variable. Okay, so where these operators come into picture or where we can use them. Okay, so in this name, what I want to do, suppose if I want to check whether this M letter, okay, you can observe here that this string is having this M letter, but suppose if I want to check whether the whole string anyway contains this letter M. Okay, so there is a operator, there is one operator that we can make use of for that. Okay, to inquire, to check whether the whole string contains that letter M. Okay, so how it can be done? So what can be done here is that I will make use of if statement. Okay, so if I want to check whether we wanted to check M. Okay, so if M in which variable name. Okay, so I want to check whether or if M character is there in name. If it is there, then I would like to print yes, the variable, the character M was found in the string. Okay, so I think you are understanding what we have written. Let us just first run it and then we will understand it more. Okay, so if I just run this code, you can observe here that in the output pane it is saying that yes, the character M was found in the string. Okay, so let us just try to understand how this works. Okay, so here we have made use of one important operator that we are about to study or that we are studying. It is called as membership test operator. Okay, it is one of the two membership test operators. It is in operator. Okay, so how it is used? It is used to check whether this part which we have written M, whether it is there inside this right hand side part. Okay, so whatever you have written on the left hand side, it will check whether that part is there inside this right hand side part. Okay, so because the name variable right now indicates to this or points to this particular string, what it will do here is it will check whether M letter is there, whether M character is there inside the string, and if yes, then this whole condition will become true and it will print out that there is that M character found. Otherwise, what we can put, as you know, so I can put else here as print, I would say, sorry, the match was not found. Okay, so basically how it will work is it will check whether this character is there inside this whole string. If it is there, it will print out this particular message. Otherwise, it will print out this message. Okay, so we have seen this that inside this particular program, this is printed out because M letter is there inside this particular uh, string. But what we can do to check our code is that suppose if I replace it with Q. Okay, so as you can observe, there is no Q letter inside my name. Okay, so let us just run this code to check what output do we get. So as you can observe, it is saying that sorry, the match was not found. Okay, so basically this is in Okay, so in it's called as membership test operator. It checks whether this Q letter has membership inside this particular variable or the string containing inside that particular variable. Okay, so that is why I think you have understood now why it is called as membership test. It checks whether this left hand side part has membership in this right hand side part. Okay, now let us just quickly change this particular part and let us see which answers do we get. Okay, so suppose if I write S here. Okay, so I want you to guess now. Just pause the video and try to guess what will be the output of this code. Okay, so let us just run it if you have guessed it. So as you can observe, if I just put S, it is saying that sorry, the match was not found. But how come this is giving that particular output? Because even though S is the part of this particular string, the thing here is that, as I've told you in the earlier video as well, the strings or the Python is case sensitive. The reason that it is showing that the match was not found because you had a given small s or lowercase s, whereas the string contains your uppercase s. Okay, so be very careful what values you are going for checking. There has to be the consideration of your case sensitivity, then only it will work. Okay, and one more thing here is that it is not the case that you can only check a single character. You can even check multiple characters here as well. Okay, so what I can check, suppose if I want to check AME. Okay, I want to check whether this particular variable name contains this part AME. Okay, so let us just check that whether it gives us the answer. So I want to check whether my name variable contains this part, this much part. Okay, so let us just run the code and you will understand what I wanted to say. Okay, so right now it is saying that yes, the character. Okay, the one thing that we was missing out upon, that it should be changed to the particular character. Okay, so right now it is AME. Okay, so whatever input that you have taken, you can check it accordingly. Okay, so right now it is saying M. So if I just rerun it, I will say it will say that yes, the character AME was found. Okay, so accordingly you can understand it. Okay, so let us just change this code a bit, this print part a bit. So rather than saying yes, the character AME was found, let us just say yes, the match was found. Okay, so that there will not be any confusion going ahead. Okay, so as I was saying you that we can check it for single character, we can check it for a string to be contained inside another string. Okay, so in that way we can make use of this in operator, okay, which is a membership test operator. Okay, let us just make this code a bit general in the sense that rather than explaining or rather than giving it manually here, let us just ask the user, okay, to enter which part he or she wants to search for. Okay, so I'll just put one enter here and let us just ask the user for that particular search string. Okay, so I'll just call it as value variable. Okay, and I will put one is equal to sign. Let us just ask the user for entering the string. Okay, so we will ask enter the part. Okay, otherwise what we can say, enter the string to be it should be 2, right? Okay, to be searched for its presence. Okay, it's a bit longer statement. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are asking the user to enter the string that here it wants to search within this string. Okay, so in this string he must be searching that. Okay, so what change again we will have to do? So rather than using directly declared value here, we can replace it with value. Okay, so what it will do right now is that it will check whether the value that user has given us, whether it is present inside my name or not. Okay, so let us just quickly run this code and see how it comes. Okay, so it is asking us to enter the string to be searched in the for its presence. Okay, so I would put my surname, suppose, but be very careful that you'll have to be take care of such case sensitivity. Okay, so I have put that K as capital, then only it should show that it is present. Okay, so let us just check what it says. Yes, the match was found in the string. Okay, so I think you must have understood now what is the concept of this particular in. Okay, in is called, as I've told you, is a membership test operator. It is used to check whether this left hand side entity is a part of this right hand side entity, and that is how we can use it inside if statement to check for a membership, to check for existence, that we have done right now. Okay, so let us see what Python has to say about this membership test operators. Basically, in and not in are the two membership test operators in Python, about which in we have seen, and in some time we are going to see not in. Second is all built-in sequences and set types support this, as well as dictionary. Okay, so built-in sequences like the string, the example that we have seen right now, it is making use of string. Okay, so such these operators can be used along with string, along with set types, where other set types, as well as with dictionary. Okay, so the set types and dictionary, these concepts we will see along with the course, but right now just remember that we have been, or we have used it with strings. Okay, and the last thing is not in is defined to have the inverse truth value of in. Okay, so however we have used in operator right now in the earlier example, exactly the opposite way we can make use of not in. Okay, so let us just see what or how we can make use of not in. Okay, so as it was said in the theoretical part, not in is exactly opposite of in. Okay, so let us just put in this example itself, and let us just try to understand how it works. Okay, so what I will do is, if value, I would say not in name. Okay, so now I am checking. In the earlier case we had checked whether the value was in name. Now I am checking whether if value is not in name, then what I would say, I will have to say that the match was not found. Okay, and else, okay, the else part of this would be the value would be in name. Okay, so that is why here I will have to now say that the match was found. Okay, so let us just run this code around and let us just check what output do we get. Okay, so it is asking me to enter the string to be searched for its presence. So suppose if I put AME like we had done earlier, so if I just press enter, the match was found. Okay, so it will give us the right answer. The only thing is here, only thing that we have changed here is that rather than using in, now I am using not in. Okay, so it will now check whether the left hand side value is not inside the right hand side value. Okay, so that is the logic behind this particular not in. It is exactly opposite of in, whether where in checks for the existence, not in checks whether it is not present. Okay, okay, so I think you have understood the concept of in and not in. The operators like these are the reason why Python, as I've told you many times, Python is a very easy and powerful language. Okay, and on the other hand, they also give you the opportunity to be creative in terms of programming. Okay, so let us just try to do that using a simple program, and let's try to understand how we can use it in many ways. Okay, so suppose if I want to ask the user for its favorite football player. Okay, so let us just save his answer or her answer inside one variable answer. Okay, and I am going to ask the person or my friend, who is your favorite. Okay, so I think I have made one type. Okay, so who is your favorite football player? Okay, so I'm going to ask this to my friend. Okay, and whatever answer he's going to give, it will be stored inside this answer variable. Okay, so let us just now put a condition that if, and suppose my favorite player is Messi. Okay, if Messi not in answer, Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm checking where if Messi is not in the answer, I would print out, but I think Messi is better. Okay, so what I'm doing is I am asking my friend to put who is his favorite football player, and because I'm a fan of Messi, so I'm checking if Messi not in answer, I will print. But I think Messi is better, and else means that the Messi would be there inside the answer. If it is the case, I would print yes, mine too. Okay, so else means the my friend has given the answer. In that answer the Messi word is there. Okay, so let us just run this program and let us just check what happens for the various inputs. Okay, so if I just run this program, so it is asking me to who is your favorite football player. Suppose if I write I like uh, Messi. Okay, so I have written that line that I like Messi. And suppose if I press enter, I want you to guess what is the answer of this code. Okay, so the code is in front of you. I want you to guess the answer. Okay, so if I just press enter, it is saying that yes, mine too. Okay, right now I think you must be getting confused because I have written the whole sentence. Even though I have written the whole sentence, why it is showing the right output? Okay, the reason is that my program is checking only whether this word is present inside that complete statement. Okay, so whenever it finds that this whole word is present, it will say that yes, mine too. Okay, so just be aware of that. Okay, so if I just rerun this code, okay, and suppose I say I like Ronaldo as a football player, football player than anyone else. Okay, I have this intentionally put that bigger sentence so that I want you to know how this works. Okay, so I have written I like Ronaldo as a football player of more than I should say player more, I would say. Okay, I think I should go there only. Okay, football player. Okay, by mistake I have messed up something, so let us just close this, let us just stop this program, let us just run it again. Okay, so let us just put that sentence again. I like Ronaldo more than any other player. Okay, so I have written this statement. Let us just see what happens when I press enter. Okay, so as soon as I press enter, it is saying that, but I think Messi is better. Okay, and yes, there is a small problem that we have to take care here. I'll tell you what the problem will be. So if I just run this code, just observe what will happen. Okay, so it is asking us to enter the player. Okay, and I say I like Messi. Okay, so I want you to guess what is the output of this code. So suppose if I press enter, okay, but I think Messi is better. The problem here that is happening is right now I have put M small here, okay, and the one that I'm checking it is having M capital. But even though I have put the same name in terms of the player, even though that I have done it, still I am getting the wrong output. Okay, so we have to mitigate that problem. We have to somehow change that and make it better. So what can be done? Okay, so that is a simple way that we can apply, that we won't have to change much in the code. Is that there is one method that we can take use of, okay, and which is called as case fold. Okay, as you can observe, the IntelliJ IDEA is itself suggesting me which method to be used as soon as I write case. So if I just click on that and if I just enter, it will put that method for me. Okay, so what you'll have to just do is answer dot case fold. Okay, so I will tell you how it works. Let us just check the program again. For that, I'll just have to make another change, that I'll have to do this in smaller case, okay, or the lower case. Okay, so if I just run the code again, so because we have done it in the smaller case right now, Messi. So what I want to do is, suppose if I like capital Messi, okay, Messi in capitals. Okay, so if I just press enter, it will say yes, mine too. Okay, and if I just do some variations again, suppose if I say I like, I write capital M, small e, capital S, small s, and I. Okay, and if I press enter, it will still recognize which value you have given. That is when it will say yes, mine too. Okay, so let us just understand what this method is. Okay, so dot case fold method, what it does is, whatever is there inside the string, it will convert it into lowercase. Okay, so the use of this particular case fold method is that what it will do is, it will whatever is there inside this particular string, it will make it in lowercase. Okay, and then it will check it with this. That is why I have changed it to lowercase as well. Okay, so that it will match with this. So even though even when I put capital letters inside my answer in this particular question, it will be converted into lowercase using this particular method, and then it will be checked with this. Okay, so that is how the case fold method is used. Okay, and one more important thing, you cannot use it over here. Okay, so let us just try it. I'll tell you why it doesn't work. Okay, so if I just try it, it will say, just observe, it has given me that warning. Okay, and it is saying that you cannot assign it to a function call. Okay, so because there is a function call ahead, you cannot do that over there. Okay, so you will have to do it in the checking of the condition only. Okay, so you'll have to do it here only. Okay, so that is why we have used that case fold over there. Case fold, as I've told you, it converts the whatever is there inside, and make sure it is string over here. Okay, so directly string can be there, as well as it should be it can be a variable, okay, which is holding the string. So let us just see in the documentation what the Python has to say about case fold. So let us just type case fold in method in, I have done that already, I guess. Okay, so it is showing me over there. I'll just click over that. Okay, and in the built-in types, okay, so let us just search for what we wanted. Okay, so in this string methods, okay, in the string methods you will find that method. It is a method. Why it is called as method, we are going to see that afterwards. Okay, so in that you can find this str.casefold. Okay, so what it does is, it returns a case folded copy of the string. Case folded strings may be used for caseless matching. Basically what it does, that case folding is similar to lower casing, but more aggressive, because it is intended to remove all case distinctions in a string. Okay, by the way, the thing is that there are other options to make it lowercase, like this lower function. There is another one for uppercase, which is upper, but this one is a better option than lower method, because it takes care of some of the languages like German. Okay, so they have given one example where in the German language lowercase beta is equivalent to ss. So these kind of things are not taken care inside this lower. So it is better to use this case fold function to do such conversions from any way case into lower case. Okay. Okay, so I hope you have understood the use of these membership test operators in and not in. Let's just quickly go and see what the Python has to say about those as well. Okay, so these are membership operator in Python. Okay, so I'll just click over there. Okay, okay, so we'll have to give the official site, right? So docs.python, I would say .org. Okay, so it will show up the required. Okay, so here we are going to click, which is the official site, and in all the expressions, I think it should come along. We'll just look for it, and it should, okay, here it is. Okay, so membership test operations. Okay, so the Python is saying the operator in and not in test for membership, as we have told. x in S. Okay, so for this example, x in S, it evaluates to true if x is a member of S. Okay, so that is what we have said. Only when x is a member of S, then only it will evaluate to true, otherwise false. Okay, and x not in S returns the negation of x in S. Okay, so x in S is exactly opposite of x not in X. Okay, all built-in sequences and set types support this, as well as the dictionary, as we have said, and for which in tests whether the dictionary has, okay, so what dictionary is and all, we are going to see that at that time. I will tell you what or how it works. And for the container types and list tuples, okay, so all those things we are going to see that. Okay, just for timing, just read this much. Okay, you'll it will be sufficient, and just try to go through the documentation as much as possible so that you will understand the concepts better. Okay, okay then, I will see you in the next video.